In this episode of reDefine, we continue our discussion with the very popular and quite business-savvy Doug Gordon. Doug shares with us his favorite photography toys and also walks us through his 3 smartest pieces of advice for anyone running their own business, recognizing that although passion is incredibly significant, it's going to take more than that to pay the bills.
Special thanks to our sponsors Adorama, the photography people, and T1 Line, the voice and data solution experts.
3 smartest things you'd tell somebody to think about when it comes to business.
3 smartest things. Well, I would say the first and most important thing is develop personal relationships with anybody and everybody that you possibly can.
And you're saying this is a practical tip.
Yes.
Like, come on. Like, this isn't a foofy thing.
I'll give you an example. We do over 1,000 weddings a year, 5,000 portraits. There is not one single client that I do not meet or do not talk to. I call every client myself. I confirm the appointments of potential clients coming in and all clients saying, hi, I'm Doug, I'm the owner. I just wanted to thank you so much for taking the time to come in and meet with us. Unfortunately, I won't be able to meet with you myself, but I want you to know how much we appreciate this opportunity. We know you have a lot of choices. And if you ever need anything, please don't hesitate to ask.
Okay, so above and beyond personal relationships, making the connection, even if you are not going to actually be working with them,
yes.
But you're the owner of the company, and you want them to know that it matters to you.
Exactly. Biggest thing, I think, would be saying, treat people the way you'd want to be treated. I pride myself on this. 27 years in business. We've done over 15,000 weddings. We've done over 5,000 portraits. We've never had a complaint with the Better Business Bureau. Okay? Never, ever been sued. And most of all, I've never had an employee leave voluntarily.
27 years in business, that's because your dad had this.
My mom and dad started in '85.
Yes.
I came on in about 90 full time, and then in 2000, I took over and purchased the company outright.
So personal relationships, treating people well, and that sounds
Yes.
like, again, a generic rule, and yet you're saying it's...
I think people ignore it. I think people, the sense of entitlement that people feel nowadays, it's like I would look at you as my employee and be like, you work for me.
Yeah.
If I tell you to do something, do it. If not, guess what? There's no jobs out there. Do what the hell you want. You don't look at things that way. You don't look at people. They're not possessions. Yeah. They're not items. You need to treat people with passion. And my third thing would be, most importantly, have passion. You have to be passionate about everything you do. You have to be determined. You have to have vision. You have to have passion. You have to love what you do. If you don't love it, how could you ever be good at it? This is not a job you could go halfway.
Yeah.
There are no bad days in a photographer's life. You know, my whole life, this is what I've done.
Yeah, and then just to clarify that, because you say there's no bad days in a photographer's life. There are bad days in the life of somebody who's a photographer. You're saying is you don't bring that up to, or you don't bring that to the job, or you make the effort to make it about them.
It's got to be a love. If you love it, I'll give you an example, another not so great story. I buried my grandfather, it's about 6 years ago. An hour after burying him, I was at the bride's house. People said, why did you do that? Because that bride booked me 18 months in advance. She waited her whole life for what I was going to do that day. I damn well better make sure that I'm there. And you know what? I shot one of the best weddings ever because I loved this job so much that allowed me to forget about the pain for a little while.
Where do you draw energy from that makes you want to keep doing it and trying new things? And where do you see yourself going? Because
I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I do have options, but where's my energy come from? If you look at it, I really do believe this is the best job in the world. You know, just look at what you created. When you look back at the Extreme Home Makeover, you know, that really brought to light photography and how important it is. Everything going on with that family. Long after you're gone, I'm gone, they're gone, you look on the wall, you've created history.
Yeah.
History will come to life because of what we do.
Yes.
Our eyes, our feelings, our emotions, everything we are as people.
So you're looking more at the greater significance.
I'm looking at it as one of the most important jobs in the world. I had someone come in last Christmas. The mother was sick with cancer, and they wanted to get that last family portrait. I had the honor of doing that. You know,
and that is so rare. That is so rare to say that that's your profession.
It's so rare that you get to do happy things.
And to know that you're good enough to be able to capture it well.
Yeah, the whole life, you realize this job means more. There's people out there doing things like what Kevin's doing or Ben's doing, going out and photographing the world. Mind you, because of the studio I've set up, I don't have the opportunity to go and do as much as I'd like to in terms of using my photography for cause, but when I do, there's nothing better.
Yeah, and there's almost like a little bit of a slap in the face because it's not hard to get caught up in all the administrative stuff and the details and the politics and the timing and the, you know, sometimes it feels like you're almost just racing to maintain.
I think it's because people don't prioritize.
Yeah.
I think if you look at it now, if you ask people, how much time are you spending on the creativity of your craft? How much are you spending on the technology of it? And how much you spend on business?
Yes.
Unfortunately, most people don't put very much time into business. And although I love this, I still leave the home a lot, and I need to be able to provide for my family and give them the things, college education. If I'm going to leave the house 80 times a year, I want to be able to give my kids anything and everything that they could possibly want, as long as I don't spoil them and make them into rotten kids. In business, I've realized over time, there's a lot more art in business than there is in photography. It's not a matter of how much you make, it's a matter of how much you keep.
Yes.
Photographers tend to overpay themselves and not realize you need to maintain
Yeah.
a certain business structure. And I think that's important. And what scares me the most is if I was to give a class on posing and lighting at WPPI, I'll fill the room, standing room, only have 3,000 people. If I wanted to talk business, I would have a third of that.
That's absolutely true. I've had the exact same experience.
After this show, I'll be going off to Disney World again and just hanging out, and I know that those are 4 days where I completely shut off the rest of the world. It's just about being with the family. I love the place because it's heaven for me because everything else goes away.
Yeah.
I feel safe. I feel home.
At Disney?
Yep.
Huh.
I feel home. When I'm there, I'm complete. You know,
Why?
I don't know. It's just a fascination. If you ask me what my dream life would be, I want to live in a castle. I want to be on Main Street. I want to photograph families and then walk down the end of Main Street and go in my castle and be very happy, and I would have terrific life.
Do you have like oh, I love this gear, this product, this thing? Is there a thing
There's
that
yes.
transcends, like it works well? You actually love it?
There is a thing, but I always feel weird saying it because it's something I made.
That's all right.
It's a little light that I call the torchlight.
Yes.
And the idea behind the torchlight.
I've used your torchlight.
You like it?
I do like it.
If you didn't, we're going to shut this off.
I love it. I love it. I love the Doug Gordon Disney torchlight.
Yeah, I don't know if we could put Disney on it, but we should. That would make more money. I love it because it's something that keeps life simple. Like I said, I think photographers overthink it. It's the perfect tungsten light. It's the perfect fluorescent. It's the perfect daylight.
Yeah.
I dial it down. It weighs 1 pound. The battery lasts 5 to 6 hours. Charges in 30 minutes. Just makes life easier. You know, that's my...
And you love it because it's easy, and you also had a hand in designing it.
Of course. I think that's the biggest thing.
That makes sense, though. Like, that's why you love it.
That light took 2.5 years out of my life. You know,
Whoa.
to kind of come up with a concept and really put it together, and they did a great job bringing it together.
Who's they?
The company that makes it for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it just, the manufacturers are putting it together and making it perfect. You know, and I like it because I can drop it, I can throw it, and the thing works. You know, no matter what. It's got a 3-year...
Not recommended.
Try not to. It's got a 3-year warranty on it, so it gives you an idea of how confident I am.
Yeah.
You know, but I love it. If, besides my light, what would be the one thing? I would have to say it would probably be my tripod.
Your tripod.
I am an old-fashioned guy. I
Stabilize
love a
your life.
tripod. It stabilizes my life, and that's one of the reasons I'm able to move so quick.
Yeah.
Because I think too many times people are trying to make this exotic framing and stuff when it just needs to be simplified.
It just needs to be not blurred.
Yeah, it needs to be blurred.
Like what, carbon fiber? What's your guy? What's your favorite?
I use, believe it or not, because I'm so hard on my equipment, I use an Adorama Flashpoint tripod. It's a very inexpensive carbon fiber tripod.
Yeah.
It's not expensive. I know I can beat up on it. Some of the other manufacturers, I would go through 2 or 3 a year.
Yeah.
You know, these seem to last a while and take a beating and keep on ticking.
Yeah. My favorite thing is finding a product that, like more and more I find that I don't care, I almost don't care how much it is. I just want to know it's good and it will work for
It's
X amount of
durable.
time.
Yep.
Because, and not that I don't care, but you know, to have to replace something or just to buy it just to last a certain amount of time to break down, that becomes so much more expensive.
You want to know it's
over
durable.
the long run, yeah. Make it really
It's
official.
better to spend a little bit more than you wanted to than a little less than you should have.
I like that.
You do? Not
I do
bad,
like
right?
that. I do like that.
Yeah.
All right, tell the peeps where they can find out more information about you.
Everybody could find out all the information they want either at www.DougGordonWorkshops.com with an S at the end of workshops, or of course you can like us on Facebook at Doug Gordon Workshops, or you could friend request us at Doug Gordon Part 2. And if there's no part 2, then there's part 3 by then. So.
Fabulous. Very insightful advice, Doug. Thank you. Join us next time when we sit down with red carpet and celebrity portrait photographer Eric Kabik in Las Vegas. In the meantime, though, why don't you go ahead and pull out some of those old 35mm negatives and slides and give your outdated film a new digital life with the Wolverine Digital Converter. It converts negatives and slides to 14 megapixel images with the push of a button. And you don't even need to hook it up to a computer. Just pop in a memory card, wait like 5 seconds, and you're done. Your old film is alive and well in the new digital age. Secure your nostalgia by grabbing the Wolverine at Adorama.com.